It is a truly ugly start to a Monday. Looking at the pre-market this morning, what in the world is going on? Well, we have DeepSeek AI coming out and really potentially disrupting the whole AI infrastructure thing that could be going on right now. Nvidia down in a large amount, about 11-ish% in the pre-market hours. QQQ tracking the NASDAQ 100 down almost 4%, and then SPY down between 2 and 3%. We're going to take a look at the charts and see how exactly we're positioned with each of those and what to look forward to from here. I'll also touch on crypto in this and TMF. So let me put the chart up here for you so we can see with SPY what's going on. So last week, we put in a new all-time high, and then over the weekend, DeepSeek R1 coming out of China, claiming to be supreme in the AI tech space race that we have going on right now. Not only putting out superior results for it, but then also on top of that, doing it with much lower power, much lower cost. So this could be a software win, but it is also something that if we don't need as much hardware to train for it, that can punch holes in the AI infrastructure play through Nvidia. So right now, the market is digesting that news and sort of adjusting for those risks. And we're seeing that, at least in these pre-market hours for right now, it could be a bit of downward pressure for the time being before we really see how this entire thing plays out. So for SPY, we're down around the 50 and the 20-day, down around the bottom of this rising wedge pattern, which, by the way, for rising wedges, they can be very bearish. When you break out of the bottom of it, retest, and then fall back down through, you can see that there have been a couple times that we've actually punched down through it, but so far have been saved and been inside that. Now we're down near the bottom of that trend line again, down near those moving averages. And then this previous head and shoulders that got refuted by this most recent push up, breaking the previous highs that we had, that did not ever come to pass. We do want to watch out for this. If we get that push down to the 200-day, that could be a big thing for us. I don't know that this is enough news. This is a pretty big sell-off in the pre-market hours, so it's likely something that could carry with it some ramifications. Could be a bit of a give back tomorrow as well. So we have GDP to look forward to this week. We also have the Fed coming up this week. We also have PCE coming up. It is a big week overall for news, not just what happened over the weekend. So then let's push on from there. We'll go over to QQQ. There we are. Type in the right thing. There we go. And you can see Matt down massively in the pre-market. We want to stay above this 503.52 like we wanted before, which we did dip down below back on January the 13th. This ties back to the previous high that we had back here in July 10th, which so far we're still up above that in the pre-market hours, but falling down below that could give us some further downside. We do want to watch for that bounce. So for right now, we want to watch and see how exactly this is going to play out. There's going to be a lot of red in the markets. It could set up some buying opportunities to watch out for. So we want to watch for some of those hardest hit areas that are out there, and certainly where semiconductors and semiconductor infrastructure are involved. We want to watch and see how exactly the market's going to react for this. Is for just either jumping in to be overly bearish or jumping in for to be overly bullish for, okay, so today's a big down day, and then maybe we get ripped from here, that we rip upward in a bullish direction. Like I said, this could be one of those things that takes several days for the market to sort out and reprice and readjust for the risk factors that could be involved in it. So if we go to IWM, not down nearly as much as what we saw with SPY and QQQ. So not necessarily as impacted because it doesn't have those bigger players in it like the NASDAQ 100 does and the S&P 500 do. As a matter of fact, some of these companies could be ones that benefit from cheaper AI in the first place. So I would say down in sympathy with the larger indices that we have, but certainly not the infrastructure leaders that you would look for. So the software side could benefit from cheaper AI costs through innovation in technologies. Infrastructure could suffer if not as much infrastructure is needed for those AI buildouts. We'll happen to see what sort of narrative the market says. Nvidia down to 125 in the pre-market when it closed at 142, so down $17. That's down, I guess if we were to price that 10%, 12%-ish, I would say in the pre-market hours that we have right now for Nvidia. So we want to be watchful to see what exactly happens with Nvidia's price. The 200-day, by the way, is down at around 121. I think we'll see a touch on that today. We could get a significant bounce off the 200-day. If we fall through it and get rejected and head further south, watch for that number 100 to come out of that. Now remember, 115 to 118 has been significant support, which is just south of the 200. So be watchful for those as well. If we move on over to, let's go TMF, and then we'll go to crypto from there. TMF, you can see the market sort of taking a bit of a risk-off approach, if you will, and that is also echoed in the crypto space as well. TMF up about 4.5% in the pre-market this morning, and so up above 41. If we stay up above 41, watch for that push to 43. If we get rejected at 41, watch for that push down to 39. So seeing that risk off makes a lot of sense with the market moving down, that we would have bond yields also moving down, bond prices moving up. So let's move from there into crypto. Bitcoin showing a little bit of that risk off taking place, dropping back down under 100,000. We did not get to punch up above that. So far showing a double top, which could be some near-term bearishness. We want to watch for that to take place. We need the market to digest and settle with what's going on right now. Mind you, some of the movement that we could see could be with Trump sending the immigrants back to Colombia, getting rejected, and trying to impose tariffs, saying 25% tariffs immediately. Next week, 50% tariffs. Although I think that since that time, and I have to check up on the news of that one, I think that those tariff things have been withdrawn, because I think the immigrants have been let back. And you guys are welcome to let me know down in the comments. It's something I am going to look into this morning to find out what exactly is going on with that. And then XRP also moving down in sympathy with what we saw with Bitcoin as well, getting some of that near-term and downward pressure. It doesn't mean that the bullishness is broken. Here's the XRP chart, by the way. And here's the Bitcoin chart, just in case they weren't up on the screen. So we're back down near the 50-day for Bitcoin. We want to watch for a breakdown through that and then a retest as resistance to see a further push down if we're going to sell off from here. If we bounce at 50, that can still be a bullish thing. We still got to watch for that double top up there. XRP, like I said, moving down in sympathy with what we saw for Bitcoin. That's a weekly chart. Let me go to the daily chart, and you can see we're still up above the 50 EMA and SMA, although we're down through the 5, the 13, and the 20 period moving averages that are on here. So that could be some near-term bearishness that we're seeing from XRP. But like I said, with the risk-off environment that today is in the pre-market that we see, we'll want to watch for those short rips down, because we are in bullish territory across the indices. And then also for crypto, we want to watch for that. TMF is in a bearish place right now, and so some of those uncertainties still remain, but we are seeing a bit of a risk-off day, or a day where you might see some adjustments to recalculate the risk that could be coming for us, especially where AI is concerned. So guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know, especially with the Trump and Colombia thing, if you have some updated information on that you'd like me to share, or that you'd like me to have, I should say, and point me in the direction of some other resources that I should read about as well. In terms of finance, not politics. So if it's politics influencing finance, fine. That's exactly what I'm looking for here, because this is a finance channel. And so, like I said, with AI infrastructure, we could see some deals come out of this where we can see some cheaper prices that we haven't seen for a while, because the question is going to come in some uncertainty of, okay, well, how much demand is there for further AI infrastructure if we're doing some massively outperforming benchmarks for AI with less than 6% of the compute power to take place. Does that still just open up the floodgates? We're going to have to watch and see. Guys, thanks for watching. Check out the links down in the description to support the channel. For my Patreon, head on over to the Discord once you sign up for that. See everything there, including my buys and sells, and for Stockmo Academy, which includes the bread recipe trading strategy that I personally use myself and stand behind. You can get it cheaper using the code word Dr. DOCTOR when you sign up for that course. Thanks for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. We'll see you next video.